Good morning. Welcome again, Oren Elkayam, CEO of Mobilicom. How are you doing this morning?
Great, thank you. Thank you very much for having me again.
Awesome. Looking forward to getting a nice update from you. I did notice there was some news last week, which actually I'm going to put it up on my screen and then we can talk about it. Oops. Wait, can you see me? Hold on a second. I'm having a little technical difficulty here. What did I do? 1 second. Sorry, Oren. Okay. Okay, let's do it. Let's get back on track here, Oren, and share my screen. There it is. Okay, so here's my screen here, and there it is. All right, we have this. If you want to get background on Mobilicom, and we'll run through it again briefly for those who didn't see the prior interviews, Oren. But just wanted to jump right into this update. Mobilicom expands presence in European Union with new customer design win for systems deployed for protection and security. This just came out last week, right before Thanksgiving. Mobilicom believes that follow-on orders are expected, driving Mobilicom's expansion in the strategic and growing European market for unmanned systems. Let's talk about that, Oren.
Yes, as you know, American market is the biggest market for drones or robotics currently today in the Western world, followed by European market that is showing an amazing growth based on the budget that are being allocated for the next 5-7 years and the increase in defense. It's a market that we are pursuing and it's important for us. We recruited additional team members from well-experienced companies to lead the efforts of Mobilicom in Europe. And we are happy that we have first results of part of the expansion and additional customers. This is Western Europe customer that is building solution for drones for robotics, and our solution was chosen inside, and there was a purchase orders with it in order to buy elements, do the integration, and start the work of combining our solutions into their platforms to be used in Europe.
So, Oren, is this include that new product? Because I think in the past, most of your revenue to date has been from like the data links and the Skyhopper, right? But you've been talking about this new cybersecurity product.
No, this is from the older products that we have in the market, and they are the main revenue generators. This is the Scalper and the ICE electronic warfare software. So those are the elements that are being incorporated over there.
Okay, in the press release, though, it does mention cybersecurity. It says the company's ICE cybersecurity suite.
Yes.
So
the
that's
ICE is electronic warfare and cybersecurity for the data links. It's
okay.
separate from the AI, NVIDIA and Qualcomm cybersecurity that is covering the platform and the autonomy.
Okay, got it.
Different layer. This is more electronic warfare and cybersecurity of the communications.
Okay, so this is more like your core business so far, what you've been getting your revenue from, just an expansion of that.
Yes.
Okay, and any numbers you can attach to this for us?
No, we cannot share numbers. We didn't share that on the news. We are unable to share numbers. The importance here is winning additional customer, winning customer in Europe, new design win, and the purchase orders with it. And as you've seen, those that follow us on the news or other channels can see that we are active. We just sponsored a loitering kamikaze drone event in Europe, discussing and introducing our solution to additional customers, and that was a good event for us. We've done the same thing in Israel just last week. So our efforts, while United States was on shutdown and we here were not as busy, we had a lot of activity related to European market, Israel, and Asia Pacific.
Okay, and I just want to maybe understand a little bit more. I know we talked about it multiple times, but the new solution you just talked about, the cybersecurity for the AI, have you had any sales of that yet?
This we didn't have sales with revenue. We had a lot of customer and partners partnership around that. We said that this is an innovative breakthrough that is bringing the company into the cybersecurity of the autonomous elements. And that's the uniqueness and the innovation here. We anticipate that sales will be in 2027, but all the ecosystem and building all the infrastructure and closing all the partnership and before competitors will come is something that we are busy with in
I
the
got it. Okay. All right,
months
that makes
and
sense.
continue to
So
give up.
so that's so that's 2027. So then the stuff that you were talking about that are more 2026 events, which looks like they're big for you. Um, what product is that you'd be selling if that turns out?
So the majority of our products sold to programs of record or activity done across United States, Israel, and Europe is around the data link, the family of the Skyhopper, the mesh
Okay.
networking, capability to create fleets and swarms of drones or robots, and
Okay.
the ICE electronic warfare software package. Those are the core solutions over there.
Okay, but that's still a huge opportunity in 2026. It sounds like.
This is an opportunity now. This is the majority of what we are doing right now. Yes, we, as part of our end-to-end one-stop shop offering of the
Hmm.
critical technology, we are expanding across different fronts, and which are creating the IP and the gross margin in the drone business. And we believe that software and operating systems and things like that will be
Uh-huh.
those that will maintain profitability and sustainable revenue for years versus hardware that will be more competitive. Therefore, we are investing in those fields, which are showing dramatic results. But the existing products, which are software and hardware, are the ones that are making the revenue today. And we have three families of product over there: the Scalper family, the mesh networking family, and the ICE electronic warfare. Those are important products that are much needed in the market, and we see acceleration. And in fact, we are enjoying right now the fact that there is a need for American products which have done all the certification and different processes, which are embedded within customer solutions, which are ramping up in production right now.
Okay. And do you have any further insight into timing or scope of these wins? Are you any closer to winning some of this stuff? Because I think we're talking about, if I'm not mistaken, some of these contracts could be over like many millions of dollars, maybe even, if I heard you right, I think even some of these opportunities can be over 10 million a year. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay, so do you have any further insight into the timing of that? What are we waiting for? Was there a holdup because of the government shutdown? Of things now
Yes.
maybe getting closer because of that ending?
Some of the customers are waiting for announcement of winning programs of record. Program of record is a multi-year budget and program which are in the budgets of United States, which are locked, cannot be changed, and guarantee many, many years of fulfillment and procurement. There are a few programs that our customers are targeting, and as they will announce their win, we will enjoy the fruits of that with them being the solution of choice inside their design win inside. It could be, because of the shutdown, it was delayed. It could be from any day now to the coming weeks, maybe a month, but this is what we are waiting for.
Okay, so it sounds like you have an expectation that you'll win something big and hopefully keep by the end of Q1. Is that a fair hope? I mean, you can't
My
guarantee anything, but I mean,
my
if
belief
someone's
is that the decision making in the United States have to be made. They assured us that they have to release those decisions in order to progress. On one hand, the market is expecting to produce 1 million drones next year, and there is huge declaration on the level of growth, which will be 100 times of what they originally planned. But on the other hand, we are waiting for the first bite that will then be accelerated. So the first things will be winning programs of record. Once those programs of record by our customers will be won and we are part of the solution, that guarantee us into the solution and many years of revenue. Obviously, we've seen other example like Red Cat that won that. So our partners and tier one customers in the United States are engaging with that. As they will win that, we will enjoy that and scale with that, because in order to close the gap, those programs were designed 4 years ago, before Ukraine war has started, before the Israeli and the Middle East wars started. and then the numbers under plan right now are even up to 100 times bigger. This gap has to be closed by the fact that we believe that what will happen is that those government and programs will then be easier to scale them because those are certified, guarantee, approved solutions.
So again, as far as timing, this is something hopefully by the end of Q1 you'll win something big. Is that the hope?
I don't think that we want to wait by the end of Q1.
Oh, I don't know. I know you don't want to, but I mean, if someone were making an investment in your company, I mean, that's the
My
thesis is that there's
expectation,
a
my
short-term big
expectation,
opportunity here, right?
my expectation was that that will be sealed for our partners and customers in Q4.
Hmm.
The shutdown has delayed that,
Oh, wow.
but I think that United States have to make the decision now, anytime in the coming weeks, maybe a month.
Wow.
But this is what United States has to do. The
And
decision,
if one of your partners, customers wins a program of record that would be very meaningful to you, is that something that you'd be able to press release to the market? I know you can't necessarily talk about certain things, but would you be able to disclose that something was won and it's meaningful to the company, or would
so I
have to
think
wait to
that
an earnings
they
call or
will
something?
I believe that they will have to announce that.
Yeah.
And as they will announce that, those that understand the market and analyze and read the analyst reports on us and then the market understand that because it's easy to track the tier one players in this market in the United States.
Hmm.
There are only few of those. Okay, and then people that
I think you
review the company
mentioned
knows that.
the tier ones. I think you mentioned Fleer and Duril. Who are the other tier
The
ones?
top three tier ones are Fleer, Andril, and AeroVironment. There are
Airvan.
newcomers that want to become new tier ones on the back of their expansion, which is Skydio, for example, or Redcat that you are familiar with. So the biggest players are AV, AeroVironment,
Yeah.
uh, Teledyne FLIR, and Android.
And do you have, I guess, I don't know if you're able to tell us, do you have relationships with all the tier ones or just some
No,
of
no,
them?
no. We don't have business with all the tier one.
Okay.
We do hope that this big win will facilitate Mobilicom a solution of choice, and that will be a clear declaration because there will be multi years of procurement, and then on the top of that, training elements and of course all the supply for maintenance and support, and that's what is expected. Obviously, it will start gradually and grow from there. And we also anticipate that given the fact that United States want to scale 100 times bigger than the original plans, something in that level, with the recent declaration, everything that was seeded will be expanded dramatically.
Hmm. No,
That's why it's very important. And many things also show that once you won initial program of record, there is a tendency, usually what
mhm.
happens in the United States, that other corps, like if the Marines is choosing something and it's successful, the Army then, in many cases, piggyback that and then use their program to include that, and then it's increasing even more dramatically.
No, Oren, you got me on the edge of my seat now. I think you can see because there's nothing at story trading we like more than imminent catalysts. That's how we make all our money here, like anticipating a catalyst and also react. Looks like we're finally, we've been hearing about this for a few quarters, this opportunity, but it looks like we're finally down to crunch time where something big can happen for you soon. So that's very interesting from a opportunity perspective for traders or investors. Let me ask you something. If you win something big here that would be like a, 8-figure kind of at least annual revenue for you, would you need to raise money or capex to be able to meet the production? Can you tell us a little bit about your cash balance and what kind of uh, needs you might have to scale?
So we released the Q3 results. We shown over there that we had a very strong cash flow position that was increased on the back of the revenue that and the warrants that were exercised and additional funds under the public vehicle. Those left us with back then over $17 million cash in hand. It actually grew even bigger in October, and we had more of those. So we have larger cash position. We can say that that cash position can fulfill the growth of the company based on those customers. We anticipate that our growth will be bigger. I mean, we can scale faster than our customers. They have to build the entire drones.
Hmm.
We are building some of the critical hardware inside, but also the software, which is easy to duplicate. And therefore, we don't anticipate that for those programs that we will need that. We would like to invest in America and expand production and capacity here because we anticipate that US will continue with that growth. So that's a strategic investment, and but we have the means to fulfill those orders and back the growth that we need for the next years.
Awesome. All right, let me switch gears to a topic we briefly touched on last time. There's a drone company in Israel called Ondas Holdings, ONDS. I mean, are there any Israeli companies left for them to buy? They bought like every single Israeli company. Have they called you? Are they trying to buy you out as well?
I cannot comment on proposals. I can tell you that in October, when we've been in DC, we had exciting proposal being made. And yes, of course, there are different strategic investors that are willing to put money into Mobilicom, but again, we didn't do a round that requires that, so we didn't took.
I mean, would you entertain that to be
I
bought
think
out?
that I think that the following, and that's an important thing to say. I believe that given the fact that we are inking such strategic partners and have critical tier ones working with us, and I believe that you will hear in the coming future additional tier ones in the United States and beyond working with Mobilicom, okay, which is additional expansion that we anticipate based on the work that we are doing, is that we will be a very lucrative opportunity. I do believe that getting strategic investors involved in buying or participating in small stakes of the company is important because they bring the business.
But
Because
would you entertain selling the entire company?
oh, the entire company, I don't think that this is something that we are discussing right now. This
Okay.
is not something that at least.
I mean, what do you think your company is worth? I mean, you obviously think it's worth more than what it's trading at, right? 70 million. You have these big
So,
opportunities coming,
so
but like,
$100 million pre-wins is very small in my opinion.
mhm.
So if we have those wins on that are coming right now, that will have a trajectory that will build the company growth over the next 3-5 years. So current value is not important. I think that people are
Okay.
missing the cyber opportunity, which is much bigger. There, and this is something that we should discuss: the cyber opportunity and the evolution in the United States, which even much bigger than what we are doing right now. So, in
I
my
mean, so is
opinion,
is there is there any price you'd sell at, or you want to first see all this come to fruition,
I
right?
want
You
to
want to
first
first,
start enjoying the fruits of what we seeded 2 years ago and three
right,
years ago and getting to acceleration. This is the big thing. If someone wants to invest
right.
and and they are bringing their business with that, that's a good thing to reconsider.
Oren, if I offered you $20 a share right now, would you take it?
Under a raise, you mean under a raise by strategic partners? So if one of the strategic partners or customers will offer that, I think it would be smart to take some money on $20 a share.
Okay, it doesn't look like you want to sell the company, not yet. You're just on the cusp of something big. It looks like. So that's very
I
exciting.
think that it's maybe the time to discuss the cybersecurity opportunity
Let's
because
do
we are
it.
discussing the current business of Mobilicom, which is growing, and the fundamental business of the data link, the mesh networking, the electronic warfare software, and so on are critical to this world, and you cannot manage any drone or robot without it. That said, and the growth among tier ones and programs of record is something under path that is going and happening. So we are happy with that. Okay, let's fulfill that, and we will be a different company within several quarters, I believe. But I think that the biggest growth coming after that is from the cybersecurity of the AI drones and robots, which are based on NVIDIA and Qualcomm chipset at the edge, and the cloud solution with it, and what we call a secure autonomy, a complete solution end to end. And I would like to emphasize to those that are following us, we released a few weeks ago a new standardization activity that was firmed and decided by the US government, and the Department of War declared that all defense systems have to shift from passive, one-time cybersecurity validation and testing to ongoing, dynamic, active, online cybersecurity protection, which is vital for the success and the security of the United States. Under that, if you check what is our OS3 is doing, it's exactly that. And I would like to tell you something amazing that happened. We got a call from some unit in the army in the United States that says, hey, we need your help. There was a standard that was released. Can you help us understand what we should do in the army based on this standard that the US Department of War released? And we asked them, yes, but you're calling us. We are a private company. And they said, yeah, but it seems like you wrote the standard because your solution is matching the standard amazingly well. How come? And it's true. We anticipated that these solutions or requirements will come, okay, based on our experience and how we build the company. So I think that's a credible thing that have to be understood by investors. Cybersecurity for drones, robotics, and defense in general is changing right now. There are different decisions were being made. The deadline for being fulfillment of that by the big contractors is most probably September 2027, which for them is less than 2 years, which is nothing in defense world. They have to fully complete the process. Currently on the drones and robotics, and mainly the small drones robotics market, Mobilicom is the only market solution that is available to give you online active dynamic cybersecurity, the OS3. And that's something that have to be understood. In my vision, it's like there is a pandemic that you see expanding requirements that are there and standardization and regulation that enforce that. And then there is only one vaccine in the market right now. And this is us. Do you
So,
understand this magnitude?
so you're talking about 2027 sales based on, is that because of, is the timing that you mentioned because that's when the standard becomes a requirement? Is that why you're mentioning that 20, or do you have further development to do for this to be ready for sales?
It's not the development of the product, it's more building the ecosystem and partnership. We had to and we signed several NVIDIA edge AI computing partners on that. We are working with the Qualcomm AI computers, and we are promoting that. We are working with AI software partners. Some of them we are already announced. So building this ecosystem that they will bundle our solution inside and resell it is part of the work that we're doing, and locking the solutions within design wins of players. And that's it. We anticipate that as this tectonic shift in cybersecurity decision, mainly on the defense, will get to the manufacturers of the platforms like Red Cat or Ondas or so on, they will have to do something very fast. And the more time that they are taking to make decisions will urgently make them choose buy versus trying to do something internally. And we anticipated that this timing will come in 2020, late 2026 or something around that, and then it will scale into 2027. This is our anticipation.
So you mentioned that you think that's an even bigger opportunity for you. Can
Yes.
you quantify a little bit in comparison to what might happen with these 2026 programs of records? Like how much, any kind of numbers? Again, I'm asking for guidance. I'm just asking for what's the opportunity for you, right? In terms of,
Just imagine that a small robot drone handheld device that is controlling them has to be secured. Their edge NVIDIA or Qualcomm AI over there, and those have to meet the standards and the requirements. And that means that you are selling licensing of software to every one of those devices. And the software licensing is 90% gross margin. So
but is that, what does that translate for you for
this
this?
is a business of billions of dollars across the United States.
Across the United States. But in terms of a TAM, in terms of penetration that you think
billions of dollars across the United States alone.
Okay, but as far as what you think Mobilicom can get, What's a reasonable goal that you have to say, hey, I want to get X% of the TAM? Do you have anything in mind that you think is a reasonable goal for the
No,
company?
we would like to be the market leader.
You like to be the market leader. Okay. So you're talking about hundreds of millions of dollars a year is what you're
This
aiming
is
for.
what we would like to grab as an opportunity.
Okay. So you're aiming for hundreds of millions of dollars a year just on this new cyber product.
This is cybersecurity on the
Yeah.
edge of the AI autonomy and on the cloud that master all the fleets.
Okay. So that's great. So that's an opportunity 2027 and beyond. And then for 2026, if you can, again, without, I'm not asking for guidance, but kind of give us just an idea of what the TAM is for you. If you win these programs of records, are we talking about 10 million, 20, 30, 40 million? What's the opportunity size for you in 2026?
So I think that winning the programs of record will give the investor few important milestones. First is that Mobilicom is a chosen product for the programs of United States. Those programs are going to last and continue procurement for 5 to 10 years. Okay, that shows you a company that is going to have sustainable business for many years forward, inked, signed, and within the budget lines of United States. On top of that, I think that the gap will come from the fact that United States have to scale for what was planned 4 years ago when they seeded those programs. For example, one of the programs, OPFL program, the budget that was allocated 4 years ago, roughly, if I remember correctly, is about $250 million for the winners. It could be one, it could be two, and they, of course, we will have piece of that over those years. But that was pre-Ukraine, pre the ramp up expectation that United States planned just in the recent year. So if you take the numbers and calculate them, they expect to do not 6,000, 4,000, 10,000. They expect to grow to millions, and then that means that those will could scale by 100 times. So that's the great news over here. Sustainable business for many years that you are designed in and locked up into this design that can grow bigger and bigger because the growth that the United States is expecting is 10 times bigger than what it was planned originally. I mean,
Got it.
10
Got it.
times bigger than it was planned originally.
Okay. All right. That makes sense.
But it will not start with, $50 million on the first year. No, I don't anticipate that. I anticipate that it will gradually grow, but all the investors will know that it's coming, inked,
Got
and
it.
done. It's done. It's in the budget.
Got it. All right. So sounds like you're at a very key inflection point. I'm so excited to hear that something might happen by year end. That was new news to me. So we're going to be looking out on the news feeds, and we'll be looking for stuff. And I'm sure.
Looking for the programs of record for government. And I think that some of those programs for small loitering drones are going to be announced in the coming weeks. I hope so.
That's gonna
I
be
don't
awesome.
control the timing, obviously. Yes,
We're rooting for you. So hopefully that happens. I'll have to look at my allocation in my retirement account because I do believe I have a long-term position with you guys. So very much looking forward to you guys winning that. All right. So Oren, we've come to the end of our time. Any final comments? Anything we should look forward to besides that?
No, I think that we are executing our business. We are growing our business. We are increasing our market share, and we are building more units because we anticipate that the growth will come in 2026, and we hope that US will move as US would like to move, and then we will have an amazing company growth.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Oren, for your time. Looking forward to the
Thank
updates.
you.
Take care.